What the hell can I even say about this guy? Alright, this is the Commando guide. And, well, there's little to complain about, but little to be excited about. Such is the life of Commando. It's an endless cycle of There is basically nothing to say about the abilities because that's Commando. He's here, basically, only as a first character to play. And then you'll move on because everything feels stock standard and underwhelming. With that said, there are a few things that stand out. The main thing is proc coefficients. Alright, not everyone here needs to touch grass, so let me give you a quick guide to proc coefficients. Higher number equals more chance for items to work. It's a percentage of chance for something to work. As examples, ukulele has a 25% chance with a proc coefficient of 1.0 or 100%. But if you get it lower, it'll have less chance of proccing, proportional to the percentage of the proc coefficient. I failed in making this easier, but alright, basically, bigger number, more boom. Why am I saying that for Commando, that this is the thing that stands out? And even then, it's not that great, and you won't feel it much in-game really, because this is the thing with numbers and stats. They're great to look at, but that's it. In gameplay, there's nothing new. I'd really like to say more stuff about this character. I mean, I need my watch time, but things are just so boring. Am I selling this guy short a bit? Yeah, definitely. Were you expecting anything more? Like what? Oh, the title of the video? Wait, what is the title? Alright, let's get over the 10 minutes line while talking about Risk of Rain 2 as a whole, because 2024 is going to be a pretty massive year, and it starts kinda with this. Risk of Rain 2 is really hard to describe. I mean, when you talk about genres, I've got like 3 I can slide the game in without thinking subgenres. It's an action, roguelike, third-person shooter. That's the easiest tagline for the game. And then you get into it more deeply, and though the genre is easily defined, it's harder to figure out exactly what the game is. It's unlike anything before it. Things are quite similar to Risk of Rain 1, but this is a 3D game, so the comparison ends at the characters, enemies, and items. Other than that, everything else is new. The gameplay is unlike any other roguelike. I've played a bunch. Hades, Gungeon, Isaac, Rogue Legacy, to name but a handful, and so many more. I've got too many to even name. How do you play Risk of Rain 2? Figure it out on your own. No, I'm kidding. The first thing I'll tell you is to always jump. Staying on the ground means getting hit by a projectile 9 times out of 10. Jumping allows you to get that down to probably 5 times out of 10. Not amazing, but in a game with 100 billion million projectiles, you'll be glad you can dodge more. This isn't as much of a bullet hell as, let's say, Binding of Isaac, where it's unrelenting and never-ending. Here, you'll have some downtime, you'll have some lower periods, and then BAM! It's those moments that'll make you come back to this game, live or die. In my opinion, this game is what endorphins do. Getting that sudden rush of adrenaline in your body because you just killed
everything in sight and leave nothing behind but corpses. That's the good shit.
And the even better shit is when you get certain items, be them common or really uncommon. Sometimes the really rare ones will make you want to throw yourself off like Kermit when you get them.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god!
And sometimes some very common items will finally show up and you'll be like this.
Yes! Yes!
There's definitely a pecking order in items, and I've made a tier list before, feel free to check that out. But if we're not doing that, because that's 2.5 hours, the quicker version comes now. Official S tier and better items, just names. Fire Combo, 1 rocket, 3 rockets, Team Rocket, Tree, Icy Hot, Shroom, Dakota Side, Drugs, More Drugs, Bloodlust, Frieza, Zap Zap and Blob Blob, Thresh, Queen, and Dragon Force. And here's the worst item in the game. This fucking thing. Every other item has at least a use, even Bungus, and you know why. But those items, what are they good for? Well, beating people. It's true, I did talk about items before the goal of the game, and this shows to you what is really important. The game, beating the final boss? Yeah, it's cool, but it's actually not something necessary. I mean, for 100% completion, yes, but who cares about that? Me. And I don't have it. Mithrix. Final boss of the game. 4 faces. A boss that is actually quite difficult when you don't know him because of 2 things. First, his 4th face that will steal all of your items away. And also, the all-screen explosions that happen on phase 3. This boss is incredibly difficult and you can just one-shot him anyway. Right. Voidling. Another incredibly difficult boss, this time with 3 faces, each harder than the For fuck's sake, stop one-shotting bosses! We have to help newbies here! Well, this happens for a very simple reason. These guys, they're not the bosses. You are the final boss. You're the invader. You're the one that has come into their planet, and for some reason, all you know is that you must kill, and by God, you will. 13 characters plus an extra hidden one. That's the gallery of absolute units you've got. Some better than others, because you're nothing, you're irrelevant, and what are you? But hey, the rest are actually pretty fun in their own ways. The thing you really shouldn't care about, though, is other people telling you what to do, and that includes me. This isn't a competitive game. We're talking about a game on which you can have fun on, no matter what or how you play, as long as it is what you choose. The beauty of this game is its diversity, and it'd be dumb to follow tier lists just for the sake of the tier lists, when you can just try to go acrid, get only bad items that really don't fit, and you know what? You can still win. Because you're not against other players abusing a list, you're against AI, and at worst, you'd be playing with those same assholes you may sometimes refer to as friends. Yes! No matter who or how you play, F-U-N is the name of the game. And this game's really fun. You're in for deaths, lots of deaths, and sometimes some funny ones. No matter what though, progress is really quick. I'd recommend getting off of Commando really quick and start playing with Huntress fast. You don't have to aim your autos, and you're the first character really playing in 3D with both sides and the air. Commando is grounded mostly. Alright, there are 2 more things I want to talk about. First is game modes. You've got the speedrun one, the anti-speedrun one, and the fuck you one. Trials are fun, but they're easy, trivial, and are only there to get the mercenary unlock, but not getting hit is absolutely woeful. Fuck you game. Simulacrum is only with the DLC, but it's pretty fun for the first 20 rounds, and then it's repetitive and often way too easy. I'd recommend going into this game mode completely raw, and you'll understand what I mean after. This isn't about sex, okay? Trust me. Eclipse can go suck a fat one. The really difficult way to play Risk of Rain 2. You're going in raw, and on top of that, you're playing with modifiers making yourself weaker or enemies stronger, and this scales 8 times. The first one is rather easy and you won't really struggle, just a bit of HP missing early on. After that, teleporter gets smaller, then you die from fall damage, then enemies get harder, better, faster, stronger, and then you win less gold, before the cherry on top, damage is permanent on the stage. It does reset every stage, thankfully. Why do I say that you're going in raw? Well, something was introduced late in the early access, something that was in the first Risk of Rain, and made everything significantly better for that game too. Let's talk artifacts. You'll have to find these stones here, and you will find a code on them. Or you can just go get them off the wiki. Go to the bottom of the 5th stage, get the code, interact with these things, interact with the computer, and good. This feels like the PS1 startup scene once it works. After that, you get in the zone, beat it with the artifact corresponding to the code you got in, beat that zone with keys, for some reason, and you get out. Without the artifact. Except Metamorphosis, which absolutely sucks. I remember when I did it on a Huntress run, I ended up as Mercenary. Not good. And now here's a list of the good artifacts, and a list of the bad artifacts. And you can get them together, like with Sacrifice and Swarms, which is my favorite combo that changes how the game works, and add glass on top of that for an experience that is actually hard, without it needing to artificially increase the enemy's difficulty. And there you go. That's all you need to know about Risk of Rain 2. There's little reason to talk about the gameplay because this game's all about it, and there are way too many ways to play this game to talk about gameplay specifics. As I said though, just jump all the time and you'll be okay. Unless you're engineer. I keep dunking on you, but it's warranted, you prick. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is another really fun one. I really hope you enjoyed it. You can always, let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I will say that I am hoping that this video does pretty well because it's the start of something new that not only am I going to do Risk of Rain 2 guides, but we're going to do a little bit more than that throughout the year. With that being said, take care everyone. I'll see you next time.